Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another segment of Asaph Cafe. I am your host, Asaph Adonai, and this is going to be interesting because we have a wonderful family here that's sitting in with me today, and we are on the set of the Green Hornet. This is the Green Hornet with Bruce Lee, the martial arts expert, next to the candles on my candelabra, and on the far right we have Van Williams, the actor that played the Green Hornet. And so let me make some introductions here. We have Cash Schwartz, right, on my immediate left, 8-year-old Cash Schwartz, and then we have his brother, his older brother, and that's James, right? Mm-hmm. James Schwartz, and you're 9. And then, of course, Dad in the background, Tony Schwartz, Mr. Tony Schwartz. So this is the Schwartz family, and they're kind enough to sit in with me in this version of Asaph Cafe. And so let me start off with a little tune here. You guys probably won't know this song, but I'll play it. I don't know if you'll know it. Have you guys ever heard this song?
I feel like I've heard it somewhere.
It's called This Guy's in Love with You. You know this song?
No, but this guy definitely does love these two.
Well, it's an older song. I won't do the whole thing, just a piece of it to give you an eye. I'm going to stop on that note. Let's see if you know this song here. Your children. Recognize it?
No.
You don't know it? You don't recognize it?
Not yet. Yes, I've heard it from some movie. I just can't remember the movie.
Here's the conclusion. Still don't know it, huh? Here's a hint. The guy has pointed ears.
Is it from Batman?
No. I'll stop there. Star Trek.
Oh.
That's Mr. Spock. That's the theme. Star Trek. All right, guys. Let me start talking with you. Cash, you're in what grade are you in?
Second
You're in the second grade. And what grade are you in?
The 4th?
You're in the 4th grade. Okay. And you guys like Star Wars, obviously, right?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite Star Wars movie?
I liked the first. I liked the 7th episode. I think that's the 4th The Force Awakens.
What about you?
The Force Awakens.
That's okay. So that's your favorite.
Yeah.
You little guys like science fiction movies?
Yeah.
Yes.
You have a favorite science fiction movie?
Probably just Star Wars, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to see the trilogy, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
The first 3 is what that means.
Yeah,
3 trilogy.
yeah. We've seen
It
them.
was the original Star Wars, and then there was the Empire Strikes Back, Darth
Yes.
Vader,
Yeah.
and then it was Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi. Did you guys see those?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to watch that trilogy to understand the rest of the Star Wars movies.
Yes.
The build-up.
Yeah, the build-up. It kind of introduces it. And you have any sisters?
One.
Well, sorry she got left out, but she can watch this. Because you guys are you're gonna get known a little bit. So that comes with television. Just like the other television show you told me that you did. You remember that?
Yeah, it was in MCAT Live. I did 2. I did one for a media camp, and then I did one for a camp I did where we went up to the Rockies of the Raptor.
Oh, so you did 2
Yeah.
MCAT shows already?
Yeah.
And what about you?
1.
You did 1, and you did 2.
Yes.
Great. Dad, have you ever been on any of the MCAT shows?
No, other than my own, I haven't been able to really do it.
Well, let's talk about your show and give it a little plug here. What's the name of your show?
Cultural significance.
Cultural Significance? What's the premise of your show?
It's about building material and clothing material.
Clothing material, like a fashion clothing?
No, more like the product of it being built, like the all-around material, because what we're trying to focus on is natural. And
Natural material. I see, instead of the way the clothing...
Yes, sir.
I get that. That's pretty cool. How long have you been doing that?
Off and on for about a year.
Excellent. And did you start here in Missoula doing that?
I did.
Is that are you guys from Missoula? Are you?
Yes. We've been some parts. Like we've been to Kalispell, California, Oakland, and then we've also been to Billings just recently, like last month almost. We did a tournament there for jiu-jitsu, and I took first place in gi, which is uniform. He took second place. And then in no gi, which is no uniform technically, he took first place and I took second place. The only people we really beat were each other technically.
No, the only ones that beat you were each other.
Yeah.
But like anything else, it just takes practice and practice, as
Yeah.
you've probably heard. I mean, I'm not into martial arts as far as I never studied it, but I can understand it because when I was your age taking piano lessons, I had to do the same thing. I had to practice. I had to practice it every day. So do you get to do your martial arts every day as far as practice?
We go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday is kickboxing.
Right.
Tuesday is judo. That's a shorter name for jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Wednesday is self-defense, and then
So that's kind of the program that they have you training for, right?
yeah, and then Thursday is jiu-jitsu.
Well, that's good. Hey, you might end up like Bruce Lee one day. You might be in a movie like Bruce Lee or something like that. But that's cool. I like that. And obviously you must like your martial arts.
We do.
You like it a lot? Good.
Where do you guys go to do it?
We go to Sakura. Sakura. It's on my dad's hoodie right there.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Sakura in Japanese is actually cherry blossom, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, the closest I ever came to martial arts, I lived in Taiwan when I was about your age too.
Oh, wow.
Well, I come from a military family, so my father was stationed in Taiwan, so I had a lot of Asian friends there. They're all learning kung fu and stuff. When they were young like you, I chose music, so.
That's a good
I
choice.
think that's a little bit safer, at least for me anyway. But I've had a fun life in music. I took lessons when I was about you guys' age and just practiced and practiced. And when I got out of high school, I went to a conservatory, which is a music school where they train like for the opera. You know those opera
Yeah.
singers? Well, they make you work a lot. I mean, we're not talking like 1 hour a day. You have to really train in the school and you have to practice.
Heck yes.
And they used to send us out to San Francisco to do concerts in these little like cafes, go on there, students would do these little concerts
That's
and stuff.
another place we've been to is San Francisco.
Well, then you probably see a lot of those musicians in the San Francisco area. They're doing piano bars, or they call it. It's just really a restaurant.
We didn't really stay there that long. We just jumped from the
Train system.
Yeah,
The BART system. Yeah, I used to ride that a lot when I was at the conservatory. Yeah, I went to San Francisco Conservatory, and I was there for about a year or something like that when I was there.
It's a monster city. It's just.
Well, I'm
huge.
sure it is now in 2017.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was pretty monstrous when I was there, but
We're just some country boys and showed up, and it was
Culture shock.
insane to see how big those buildings and just
Yeah.
the city went forever. It was
Did you guys get on the Muni
incredible.
bus, the San Francisco Muni bus, as well as the transit, what's the underground train I think they have now? Did you get on the cable cars or any of that when you were there?
No, we didn't get that opportunity. We stayed mostly in Oakland.
Yeah, I know that area.
But
And then we
You went
went
there
up
right
to Richmond
Okay.
for Six Flags because there's no.
Oh,
there's
yeah, the
Silverwood, but there's no.
that's the Six Flag Children's Park, a theme park there. How did you
Yeah.
guys like that?
it was really fun.
Good.
My dad was gonna ride the big Superman ride,
Mm-hmm.
but it stopped working exactly when it was at the front of the line.
Oh, that can happen.
Because the line was moving really slow. Because it was having malfunctions, and then exactly when it was at the front of the line, it just stops. They have to close it.
Oh, I see. So none of you actually got to get on that ride, did?
No, I couldn't have because I was just turning 6, and
Oh, I see. So this is
Cash
a ways
is at
back.
the age of 4 or 5.
So your family is you guys are from Missoula then, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I get it when you say country boys going to the big city. I bet that was a culture shock, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. Yes, it was.
I can relate. And I'm glad you guys had fun there. Did you get to do some other activities when you were in San Francisco?
No.
You didn't go to the football game?
Oh yeah, in Oakland we went to a Raiders versus Broncos football game,
Mm-hmm.
and me and my dad, when I had to go to the bathroom, it was actually kind of cool because Sway TV, the guy that has his own TV show.
Yeah.
We saw him.
Okay.
And
Did you get to meet him? You got to meet
Yeah.
him too? Good.
He's a really nice guy.
Okay. Cool.
He actually has a radio station. He does a lot of MTV news.
Oh, okay,
Sway.
that style, yeah. And well, this is going to be a good experience for you little guys too, in case you get into television for real one day, or
Heck yeah.
you do news or whatever.
And kind of broadcasting, it will definitely something to be looked back.
Yeah,
at
so you'll be able to
before we
look
start.
back and you can take this show here and use it as a kind of an experience, a resume experience, and say you were on this show here. And you'll see yourselves on television probably next week. I'll speed up the process because I have like shows already taped in advance. You know how they go on
Oh, yeah.
order, and I can just change the order and put you guys on next week. But you'll see yourselves tonight. You'll be on YouTube tonight. You'll be on Facebook tonight. I don't know if you have Facebook, YouTube, whatever.
I have YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. It's called Robo Roblox Player.
Right.
Um,
well, what I
I-
could do is send you a copy on your after we tape this. I can send you on your. But it's gonna be fun. You'll probably be the only people in your neighborhood on television as far as a family thing here. And 15 minutes have gone by already. See how quickly this goes.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna go by real fast.
On my channel, I do a lot of gaming mostly, but
You talk about video gaming?
yeah, like video games.
Okay.
I play a lot of video games on a mobile device.
Mm-hmm.
I play a game, it's called Clash Royale, and I play another game called Clash of Clans.
Clash of Clans.
Yes,
Okay.
and
Is that the more current video game?
yeah, both of them are really popular. Mostly Clash Royale. They have. It's a really big thing.
Okay. And what about you, Cash? You play video games and stuff?
Yeah, I play Roblox and Minecraft.
Do you guys remember a game? It wasn't a video game. You might remember. Well, maybe not. It was a game called Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Have you ever heard of that?
I feel like I've heard that.
Is
Okay.
it where you hop in robots?
No. This was a game where they had a small boxing ring about
yeah,
this
with-
side. It was like a square, and
Yeah.
then they had these two robot characters. They didn't have boxing gloves. They were just robots, and you had a little control switch where it would go something like this. And if you punched a guy in his chin and his head goes up, that means he loses. It was called Rock'em Sock'em Robot. Never mind. It was just a real fun game back then. It wasn't much boxing. It was just more like this.
I know what you mean
And
because
and you hit the chin and make the head pop up. So
at the fair they had actual robot.
well, these were
boxing.
primitive robots. They were just kind of like skinny little like Legos. You remember Legos?
Oh,
They
yeah.
had the
Yeah,
Legos.
we use Legos.
Yeah, it was like Legos and not much there, but anyway, it was called Rock'em Sock'em Robots. I don't even think they make it anymore. They have the video games now, and they're all advanced. This was really primitive, guys. So
I know what you mean because at the fair they had two robots that you would get inside, and it was just like that. And you would there's two switches in it, and you could move around. And then there's another two switches where you could pull one up, and you would hit the other robot, and you would have to get real hits to the head. But if you get a hit to the head, his head would fly up and then
Right.
bounce back down.
and yeah, you push the head back down and have another boxing match.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna do the whole thing, but tell me if you've heard this song before.
Yes.
You recognize it?
Yeah.
Do you know it, Cash?
I heard it before.
Here's piece.
Titans Go!
You're close.
Sounds so much like it.
The original one.
You recognize him, Jim?
I recognize the song.
What is it, you think?
I don't know. I just recognize it from somewhere.
Dad, you gotta guess?
I think Batman. But I
Close.
could be wrong.
You're close. Especially this part right here. Secret Agent Man. What's the name of the song? They used it on an old television show called Danger Man, I think in 1960. It was one of those like James Bond,
Yeah.
Spy. It was an old black and white television show. You guys probably wouldn't know it, but it was called Danger Man. They used that as the theme song, which was called Secret Agent Man. And are you familiar with James Bond?
Yes.
The characters? Well, you would probably know the later Bond characters, wouldn't you? What is it? The World Is Not Enough. Did you see that one? The James Bond.
No.
World Is Not Enough.
Oh, they know Sean Connery.
Oh, they do.
The
You know
Goldfinger.
who? You know Goldfinger and
Goldfinger.
Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Sean Connery, the actor, was the original James Bond. He started this back in like 1960, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And then he did something like, I think 8 or 9 Bond films originally, something like that.
There's so
Well, there's a
many.
lot of them now. We're talking about when it was first started. And then they had an actor named Roger Moore who took over the part. I don't know if you would know him. He was the really good-looking spy, the dark hair. He had a television show called, he played a character called Simon Temple, The Saint. I don't know if you ever saw that, The Saint.
No.
Well, they made a movie called The Saint. It was just a James
With Val
Bond.
Kilmer.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Wasn't
You saw
it?
that? You
Oh,
saw
yeah, it
that?
was
Okay,
great.
well, Roger Moore did the television show something like 10 or 20 years before that movie came out. And it was just like the Val Kilmer version, just it was for television. And Roger Moore played kind of a British agent called Simon Templar. And then he did the James Bond, I think in the early 70s after Roger Moore stopped, Sean Connery stopped doing it. And then they went on to have other actors like Pierce Brosnan. I don't know if you would know him or not. He did one of the Bonds. He was on a television show called Remington Steele. I don't know if you would know that or not.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well that's probably before your time. But he did some James Bond, and they just had more fancier stuff. The gadgets and more fancy. But I'm glad you guys know Sean Connery. I'm sure you'd be glad to know that if you could meet him.
That'd be cool.
Speaking of meeting someone famous, getting back to Batman, I mentioned, now this is the Green Hornet, and of course the Green Hornet, they were on the Batman
Yeah.
television series, and you have the Batman collection at home, right? The
Yeah,
movie?
I have the 1960s original Batman. I have the full season 1,
Okay.
but we went to the book exchange one time, and there was a book back there called "Who Was Bruce Lee?" And
Okay.
I was just flipping through the pages, and it caught my eye when it said that the Green Hornet and Bruce Lee played a part in 2 episodes of Batman.
Yeah, they did. Well, let me explain what that was about. See, these guys here, these are probably the best known Green Hornet and Kato in all of the movie history, television history. They're probably the most known, Bruce Lee, obviously.
Right.
But 20 years before this came out, they had the original Green Hornet television show. And it was called a serial. They used to show it in movie theaters in 1940. And they had different actors, of course, because Bruce Lee wasn't really around in 1940. So, and it was really primitive. It didn't have the mask like this here. It was just more like a covering over his head.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Kato didn't have a mask. He just had these goggles, see-through goggles.
Yeah.
And that was the original. And they did what was called a serial. Serial means at the end of an episode, they would say, tune in next week to see the Green Hornet. And you'd have to wait a little week and see the next episode. So they had 13 of those episodes called serials. And it was really, really primitive. They didn't have much special effects because they didn't have that technology in 1940.
Oh man, it took a lot just to get what little bit out there.
Yeah, they didn't have much there.
Our telephones have more technology than
Than that 1940
the
serial.
video games
Right.
that I grew up with, like Nintendo and stuff like
Right,
that.
and so this Green Hornet was really primitive. But then 20 years later, they had the one with Bruce Lee on the left of the screen. And Van Williams was the actor that played the Green Hornet. And they did 2 episodes on the Batman with Adam West and Burt Ward. And what it was, you might find this interesting. Everybody thinks that the Green Hornet and Kato are bad guys, but they're really good guys. So what they do is, since the bad guys think they're bad guys, they can sneak into the world of the bad guys to catch them.
Heck yeah.
You see what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because
Undercover.
the bad guys are joining the Green Hornet, thinking he's one of them.
Mhm.
And so the police and everybody thinks that the Green Hornet's a bad guy. He's a really good guy. There's only a few people that know he's a good guy, like an FBI agent or something like that. They that knows. So when he was on Batman and Robin thought they were bad guys. See?
Oh my.
And Commissioner Gordon and all the rest of them thought that the Green Hornet was bad guys. Like, oh man, what are they doing in Gotham City? But see, what they were doing is they were trying to catch a guy who was making counterfeit stamps, if that makes any sense. You know, like the
Yeah, like-
postage stamps?
Yeah.
The postage
Like
stamps?
fake ones?
Yeah, the bad guys were making fake stamps. So the Green Hornet went into Gotham City to try to catch them. See? But since Batman and Robin did not know they were good guys, the Green Hornet had to not only square off with Batman and Robin, but they had to deal with Commissioner Gordon, they had to deal with the city of Gotham City, because everybody thought they were bad guys and they were really good guys. So it was quite an adventure, and it took 2 episodes for that one. And technically, Bruce Lee is into martial arts, so he could have easily defeated Robin. So the Green Hornet and Kato, they didn't want to like wreck their reputation and damage their reputation as crime fighters, if that makes sense. So they had to, when they had to square off, Bruce Lee had to pretend he was not really a martial arts expert, so he wouldn't hurt Robin. And of course, the Green Hornet didn't want to hurt Batman. Because see, Batman and Robin, they're not into martial arts. They just box a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Which is not the same as when you're in martial arts. So that's why they're good guys who just pretend they can't fight as well as they really could,
Right.
so that nobody gets hurt. And so what they did when they had the showdown, they had what was called a standoff, where they would go like this, where nobody could hit each other. Like Bruce Lee would make a move, but not really hit Robin, and Robin would, and so it was a Mexican standoff is what they called it. And so then the bad guy that was making the stamps pulls out a gun, and of course, I don't care how much martial arts you know, it won't help you with a gun. He pulls out a gun, and so the Green Hornet and Kato just disappear real fast, and they say, okay, Batman can handle it from here.
Yeah, gotcha.
So they kind of got the counterfeit stamp guy out, and then of course Batman and Robin arrest him and that sort of thing, and they get the credit for it. It was really the Green Hornet and Kato that caught him, but they couldn't take credit for that, you know.
Right.
Because then their image of being bad guys would be ruined, even though they're good guys. So what they did is they catch the stamp, the bad guy that did stamps. They give Batman and Robin the credit for it, and they disappear off into the night.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. It's just cool, brilliant writing for science fiction.
And for that time period, how
That time
they brought
period,
it
yeah.
all together, that was great. It really helped out with
based
both
on that
shows.
1940s version there. All right, guys, let's play another. Let's see if you know this one here. See if you know this song here.
Oh yeah.
I know this from somewhere.
I'll do it again. See if you can figure it out. I'll let you see if you can guess it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sounds like something from the night before Christmas.
Not exactly. I'll give you a hint. He's kind of a good guy too. Kind of like the Green Hornet. I'll do it again.
Is it Angry Birds?
Inspector Gadget.
Oh, you guys like that
Yeah.
show?
Yeah?
I love it.
Do you recognize it now?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do it again.
That's why I recognized it.
See, now you recognize it?
Yes.
Remember that part at the end in there?
Where he
So-
gives him the bomb.
Yeah, right. Let's talk about Inspector Gadget. I'll talk about the actor. You know the guy that did the voice
Yeah.
to Inspector Gadget? His name was Don Adams. He did a television show called Get Smart way before you were born. It was a spy comedy. Maxwell Smart. I don't know if you would know those characters or not. It was like James Bond, but it was a comedy. It was
A spoof?
a spoof off James Bond called Get Smart. And the actor that played Inspector Gadget at that time, Don Adams, he was the main character. And then years later, they did a cartoon called Inspector Gadget. Now, Cash, did you see the Inspector Gadget movie with Matthew Broderick? I think that was his
yes.
name. The movie. What did you think of it?
It was good.
You liked it?
Yeah, I liked it.
You liked it too? Good. And you saw it too, Dad?
Oh, several times.
No, I'm talking about the movie, not the cartoon, the movie.
Oh yeah, these
Yeah.
these two have a thing of rewatching things several times.
Well, that's
Find
what you
some-
have to do with your
Oh,
kid.
my.
You got to say, Dad, we got to see this more than once, and have fun.
We gotta make sure we like it, and
Yeah.
you're gonna learn to like it at the end of it too. That's
Now, do you guys have a movie collection or anything at home that you can watch a movie?
Yeah, we watch movies.
No, I mean you have your own personal collection. Do you have like a collection of movies?
No, not
I
really.
have 300 movies at home in my collection.
Oh wow.
But see, they're in drawers. I have them like those little movie drawers and those little stands and stuff like that, so it doesn't look all messed up. And I have Inspector Gadget, the cartoon, in my collection at home. I have the movie Inspector Gadget. I have the Three Stooges. I don't know if you would know them or not. It's
But
comedy.
I kind of have a collection of Batman movies.
And are you talking about the movie movies or the television show?
I have some television shows, and then I have 3 movies.
So you have the Adam West, Burt Ward, Batman TV series, the 1960s TV
Yeah,
series?
and then I have the animated one that I don't know what that was from, but
That's Batman, the animated cartoon, I believe is what it was called, if I
Yes.
remember that.
yes. And then I have The Dark Knight, Batman Begins, and The Dark Knight Rises.
Now, do you have a favorite of the Batman movies?
I really like The Dark Knight. My dad likes The Dark Knight Rises. I don't know.
I like
Okay.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, that was the first one. Yeah, I have that in my collection too. And like I think I told you guys, I actually got to meet Robin, the actor, in real life. When I was your age, my mom took me to see him because see, Batman used to be on regular television before they had computers. And I was lucky enough to be one of the little boys, and I got to actually walk up to Robin. He had his costume on, and it was pretty cool. So I was the only kid in my class that got to see Robin, and it was cool. My mom took me to see him, and he had his costume on, and I wish Batman could have been there. That would have been even better.
Either way, that's
Hey, but I'm not gonna complain. I got to see Robin. I got to walk up to him, and they were doing some kind of an advertising promotional thing, probably about the show at that time, because that's when that show was in its heyday, very very popular on regular television, and of course the Green Hornet too, and so on. And that's the way television was back when I was your age. They didn't have a lot of TV shows back then, and they didn't have a lot of TV channels. They only had 3 channels. Can you imagine that? Like today we have like 200 channels, like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of channels.
But see, when I was your age, there was no such thing as computers and laptops and cell phones. They hadn't been invented yet. So when you watch television, and you probably know this, they only had like 3 basic channels, and that was it.
pretty close to the same. I don't do cable TV or
Well, there was no
satellite.
cable back then.
I limit for these guys. I tell
Yeah.
you what, if they could watch TV all day, they would be they'd be potatoes. But
My
gotta
mother
keep
had to
them
do the
active.
same thing too for that time period. You
Yeah.
know, my mom would make me go outside and play baseball or something because I want to practice the piano or watch TV. Okay, Asaph, you've watched enough television. Go out and play.
Right.
You
so-
could have put the TV on the piano.
Yeah, I know, but that's still watching TV. And you won't get much practice if you've got a TV on the piano. So,
We like
but
playing outside a lot. I do. I know how to ride a longboard and skateboard, longboard, the same thing. But I know how to ride a bike. I learned at the age of like 5 how to ride a bike without training wheels.
really.
Yes.
Okay, let me talk to you a few things, Tony. You're not in martial arts, but you were in wrestling, right? I understand.
Right.
How long did you do your wrestling?
From 2nd grade up to 8th grade. Then I
Good.
moved into Missoula. I lived in Sealy Lake,
Okay.
which is even much smaller town than Missoula.
Oh yeah, I know of that town. I've never been there. I have to ask, what do you think of that Hulk Hogan style wrestling?
It's entertaining.
Entertaining. Okay, well, cool. I'll leave it at that.
Because, like, because we know it's fake.
Well, yeah, but that's part of the entertainment, you know.
Because I like how dramatic they are, kind of.
Well, yeah, you can't take a chair and hit
I
someone
know.
in the back of the head. Come on, you know. But it's entertaining.
Yes.
But I tried wrestling when I was in high school, and I was physically too small, but I knew how to do it. We did what was called that Roman
Oh yeah.
Greco style wrestling.
Uh-huh.
I learned a little bit about it, you know, like just how to hold your opponent, but
How it was all upper body.
yeah, and I was just too small. Look at me now, I'm pretty small. So you can imagine how small I was when I was in high school. And but I knew, you know, a few moves. And of course, when I was in high school, if you were small like me, you weren't going to be fighting some guy 200 pounds. You know, that just wouldn't be very fair. You had to get people within your weight. I'm sure they do that in your martial arts now. They is it the same?
Yes.
People within your weight category?
Yeah, we don't exactly, like, weigh ourselves, but, like,
Yeah, you do.
we go by height.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you wouldn't be taking on a 30-year-old.
No.
That just would not be
No.
good for training.
They go off of weight and
Yeah, the
the
weight and...
amount of like the belt color that they know.
Mhm.
This time they got bumped up because there
okay.
wasn't enough white belts.
Oh,
And that's what they
I
were
see.
when they went to the jiu-jitsu tournament in Billings.
Uh-huh.
And so their sensei Tor Harrison bumped them up to gray belts. And they got a wider variety and they still did really great.
Good. So I guess you guys will just keep... We've got about 15 minutes left. Told you it was going to go by real fast, see?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
We've got 15 minutes left. So you really like your martial arts training?
Yes.
It's good because you can just keep in shape and, you know, stretch. They still do stretching exercises?
Yes.
At,
I bet you get sore sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, right before class, we do a thing called Taiso.
Uh-huh.
It's just a little workout. We, like, warm our necks up, do some squats, do some
Mhm.
sit-ups, push-ups.
All right, I have to play another song for you guys. Tell me if you know this one. You don't know it, huh?
I know it from somewhere.
Woody Woodpecker.
Yes.
We just watched it the other day.
Yeah.
But I know it.
Okay, we do good. Woody Woodpecker. Yep, there you go. Here's the conclusion.
That's his laugh.
Yeah. There you go.
And since, like, we don't really have cable, we'll go on YouTube
Mhm.
and, like, watch some Woody Woodpecker, and they, like, have, like, an
Yeah, they
hour-
laugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very old cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that cartoon is what, about 50 years old at least?
Might
It might even be older
some.
than that because Popeye came out like in the 1930s.
I love that show.
Remember? Now we're talking about the original black and... Have you ever seen the original black and white Popeye cartoon?
Yes.
Let's see. I'm sorry. You recognize it?
Yes, that's the Popeye theme song.
Yeah. There you go, that little laugh. I haven't done that in a while. I don't play that song every day. So, yeah, Popeye was at its best when it first came out, the old black and white 1930s. It came out around the time of a cartoon named Betty Boop. I don't know if you would know that cartoon or not. It was just this lady. She had a real big head. Like, her head was like 2 or 3 times the size of her body. Never mind. You didn't see Who Framed Roger Rabbit, did you?
Oh,
Roger
Roger
Rabbit.
Rabbit.
Okay, remember that scene when Eddie Valiant was, the detective was in the ink and paint club?
Yes.
And he was talking to that lady?
Yeah.
Betty, what are you doing? That was Betty Boop. What are you
Oh.
doing here? Well, work's kind of slow since the cartoons went to color. Anyway, that was Betty Boop. She came out around the
Oh,
time
yeah,
that...
I know.
Yeah,
what
she
that
came
is.
out around the time the original Popeye came out around 1930s or so. And, you know, they were just primitive cartoons, as you know, and that sort of thing. But we're almost done, guys. We've got about 10 minutes left. Now, make you a copy of this and send you home. You can show this tonight or
This
have
is
a
gonna
party,
be-
you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going from here to their dojo, so they'll have...
You'll get a chance to, yeah, you're going to get an actual CD. And, of course, tonight, You can look it up. And if you leave me your info, your channel, I'll send it to your channel too, as well as your having it on YouTube. You can just look it up on YouTube under Asaph Cafe and see it too. It'll be there by tonight when you get home. And you and your family will always be able to enjoy it. You'll be able to show your cousins, your sister, your mom, grandparents, or whoever, and have fun. Being on the Green Hornet. The name of the show is called Asaph Cafe. It's a real television show, so you can get that experience there.
Yeah.
And Cash, you'll have fun with that, and you can tell your friends. And I don't know if they'll allow you to watch this like on a Friday if you're not having a math test or something, but you can take the DVD or computer. I assume you have computers in your school. You can watch it.
Oh yeah.
Watch it there. And you guys will have fun. You'll be on TV and have that experience there, just like those other shows you did.
Yeah.
How did you like those other shows that you did?
They were good. They showed like the stuff we made throughout the camp.
Okay.
So.
Oh, so you're part of the MCAT camp, right?
Yes.
And you too, right?
Yes.
You were in that too? Okay, Cash, I have to ask you. I know we're going to be leaving in a few minutes here.
Yes.
I have to ask you, do you have a favorite food?
Yes.
What's your favorite food?
Chicken.
Chicken, huh? You like fried chicken or baked chicken or boiled, or how do you like it?
I like orange chicken.
Oh, okay. Well, you know who kind of made chicken famous, don't you? Have you ever heard of Colonel Sanders?
Yes.
Well, when he was alive, he's the one that started the original Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember him. He actually looked like that. You know that costume that he with that's what he looked like for real. And he lived to be about 80 something, and he created Kentucky Fried Chicken. And of course, it was primitive compared to today.
It was actually good.
Yeah, it probably tasted better back then when he was
my,
alive, you know,
that's
because he was
incredible.
alive and he was the founder of it. So, but you like orange chicken, huh?
Yeah.
You like any other kind of foods there?
I like noodles
Noodles? Okay.
and egg rolls.
Oh, okay. So you like more of the Asian food, then, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I don't think he's picky. He put food in front of him and it goes. They do have a wide variety, a wide
Well,
menu.
I tell you, yeah. You might, if your parents think of this. Have you ever had what's called rice noodle? That's spelled R-I-C-E, rice noodle. We're not talking. It's like the Asian noodle, but it's made of rice instead of the original
Yes.
noodles. It's very good. They have it in like Vietnamese restaurants and stuff like that. So I think it's a little bit more healthier myself. Just a plain rice noodle, but that's just my opinion.
Well, the same. You can use hemp seed for
Yeah,
all
you-
kind of
yeah.
stuff like that, and
Mhm.
it works just as well. It has all the carbohydrates, and it actually has a lot of the omega-3, omega-6 that you need, and
Mhm.
it is healthier.
Right, right. I will treat you guys. When we finish this, I'll run to the store and get you guys something to drink. Would you like something to drink? I didn't have time to run to the store when we taped this. Would you like some apple juice or orange juice or anything like that?
We won't actually have time today, but we
All
will
right.
be back another time.
Well, if you guys, we got about a few minutes left and we're going to close. So, you have any final words? I'll start with you, Cash, since you're the youngest. Do you have any final words you want to say?
No.
You don't? You want to say hi to anyone? Just look at that camera right there.
Mr. K, or anybody.
You have a teacher or a friend or anybody you want to say hi to?
Hello, Cody.
All right, I'll quit right there. And what about you, James? Let's look right at that camera there, and yeah.
Probably Target Range School.
Target Range School. You know, we did a cafe with children here about a year ago. We had that, I think it was at James Middle School or whatever it is. We had a whole class, class in here, and we had to use that backdrop there instead of the green screen. It was a middle school. I can't remember their name, and it was like 20 kids right here.
Wow.
And we had the piano right over here, and we had the cameras on this side, and they saw themselves on TV. It was pretty cool, all these kids. They were all about your age. It was middle school, grade school. And it was fun. But this is more fun when it's like with your dad and your brother, you know, I would think, and stuff like that. Tony, I have to ask you before we sign off, you have any final things you want to say?
Thanks for having us on. Give us the opportunity. Get
Yeah, this is
comfortable in the
fun,
trailer. Let me put out my TV show.
Sure, go ahead.
Culture Significant. I come and film it here at MCAF 5 to 7.
Good.
Uh,
What days do you film it? Is it every day or just...
I need to get more back into a routine with it. Being a single father, I've had limited time. I've got a new family starting now.
Oh,
but
okay.
for the majority of these guys, it's been just the three of us, and so.
Oh, that's cool. It's been such a delight having all three of you on here. And
Stay planted with your kids.
Cash, I know you're tired. We're getting ready to sign off now. And when I sign off, I want you to stay right where you are until I shut everything down. I'll say make yourself at home. Just wait like a moment, and then you're free to go. But as I said, you guys will be on regular TV next week, and you can have fun with your family. Have popcorn, orange chicken, and watch yourself on TV. You'll be on regular TV, and I have fun. I mean, this is my show, and I always have the DVDs and stuff. But I admit, every once in a while, it's fun to watch my own show on regular television.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when I'm watching my show, I might have friends around, where I live. And hey, Asaph, there you're on TV,
Oh yeah.
And I
knew that person you were on with today. What an
Yeah,
awesome
I get
topic.
that. I had a lady walk up to me. She was like in her 70s. She says, "Young man, I've got to tell you, I have never laughed so hard as when I watch your show." I was like, "Thank you, man." So she like watches this.
Nice.
And Professor Robert Green, probably shouldn't mention him. I'm going to university. He's a history professor. He watches this show every week, he and his wife. So you would be surprised how many people actually watch Asaph Cafe. You would really be surprised. This is just a fun show. It's just like what we did, you just talk. And some people talk about fun things like superheroes like Batman and stuff. We kind of talked about the Green Hornet and that sort of thing. So it was fun. So, Cash, I hope you had fun.
I did.
And I thank you for being on.
Are you going to say thank you back?
Thank you.
Well, you'll have more. It'll be more exciting for you when your friends see you on TV. All right, guys. Well, let me make some acknowledgments. We'll sign off. This is Asaph Cafe, and the premise of this show, people just talk to me like the Schwartz family did about whatever they want to talk about. And we have Cash here on my left, 8-year-old Cash, and his older brother James, father Tony Schwartz, the Schwartz family. And we're on the set of the Green Hornet and Kato with Bruce Lee. And that's something you're going to be able to share with your family and just have that memory. It's just so fun. And I hope you'll get a chance to watch some episodes of the original 1940s Green Hornet. And then, of course, the 1960s Green Hornet. And you've got your Batman, so you can see them on there.
Heck yeah.
I am your host, Asaph Adonai. So until our next show, Maranatha. I always freeze on that note right there. You guys make yourself at home. Give me a moment to shut it down, and you can take off. It'd just be cool to have you standing there for a moment behind the, in front of the Green Hornet and Kato.
You did really good.